Taxes and bookkeeping. Do I need to worry about this in my Etsy shop? Let's find out. So I've had a whole load of people ask me to make a video on the subject of taxes and bookkeeping. This is something that stresses out so many people to being an online entrepreneur. If we're selling on Etsy, do we actually need to let the tax man know? I'm in the UK, so most of this advice is going to be mainly for the UK audience, but hopefully it can help you think and look into what you need to do for your own country. And I really want to know, if you can let me know in the comments below, are you registered with the tax office for your Etsy business? Have you thought about registering? Do you need to register in your country? And if you could also drop links to the places that people need to go to in your country to register, that would be so helpful for everyone coming along later on. And if the UK tax bit of this is of no interest to you, remember, skip to the end and I'll go over my basic bookkeeping for you. So let's get started. So in the UK, do we have to tell the taxman if we're selling online? The answer to this used to always be yes, but from April 2017 there was a change in the law which makes it a little bit easier for us online entrepreneurs to set up. This means the first £1,000 of your new business you don't have to report. This is for up to 2 businesses, specifically for businesses like selling crafts online or renting out your spare bedroom. If you're earning less than £1,000 in a year, you don't have to report it yet. This £1,000 per business is called your trading allowance. So in the UK, if you're currently earning less than £11,850 plus your trading allowance, you don't actually have to pay tax on your income. And then above that, you only have to pay the first rate of tax. So if your shop's set to make more than £1,000 this year, make sure and contact the tax office. It's really simple and they're dead friendly and helpful, and you possibly might not have to pay tax anyway. So for a small online shop, you're best to register yourself as a sole trader. This is going to be by far the easiest way to deal with everything. So as I just mentioned, if you're going to be making over £1,000 in a year, you have to register as a sole trader. And you can trade under your own name. There is no legal obligation to have a business name or even a business bank account. Seriously, if you're not making that much money, that's just a waste of money. So just so long as you keep a note of all your expenses, there's no problem there at all. And if your turnover in your shop, which is how much you take in before any of the outgoings, is going to be more than £85,000 in any one year, you have to register for VAT as well. But if, like most Etsy sellers, you're under that, you don't have to register for VAT. Now all this sounds really complicated, but there are some great resources out there that can help you. I'm going to advise straight away, if you have a business gateway centre in your town, get along there, have some meetings with them. When I started up, I went with the Business Gateway and they are so helpful. They have courses that can help you with all sorts of things. They helped me set up my bookkeeping, and also it's a great way to network with other small businesses in your area. And you'll have a business manager who is also someone who has set up their own business and can give you a valuable lot of experience and advice. Also, they can help to direct you to the right places, that there might be startup grants or even grants to help you employ people as you expand. So it's really worth talking to them. The second useful resource is actually the HMRC, the tax office. They are actually really helpful. Their website can help you out, and also they have a number of videos and courses that could really help you make things a little bit easier. As they used to say, tax doesn't have to be taxing. So all you have to do is take note of a few things. First of all, your sales, which is so easy. That's in Etsy. You can get a note of all your sales. And then your purchases, expenses. You want to keep receipts for everything you buy. What I find really easy is a little folder like this. It's got 12 compartments in it. So each month I just bung in my receipts for that month, and that keeps them all in one place. So when I come to decide that I'm doing my taxes, then they're all there, easy to get hold of. And bear in mind, if you lose receipts, you can't prove where you've spent money, then that just has to count as profit for yourself. You also have to keep track of things like capital purchases. This, when I was a driving instructor, included the price of the car. The bookkeeping is a little more difficult for large capital investments. So for example, the loan on the car, the interest of the loan I could claim monthly. However, the actual price of purchasing the car, rather than how much I was paying back in the loan each month, it was how much they reckoned the capital was devalued by. But these things are clear in the Revenue and Customs website. And the other thing to keep track of is the price of supplies, consumables, things you're going to use up over time, packaging materials, transport costs. And also, if you're working from home, keep a note of the number of hours you're working, because that's used in the calculations to find out how much of your electricity, gas, mortgage and everything can be claimed back from the business. Remember, if you're working from home, that your mortgage company is happy with you working from home. You might just have to contact them and let them know. So how do you keep track of all these things and file your tax returns? I'm going to say one method could be, if you're making enough money to be paying tax, then an accountant might well actually pay for themselves, because they know little tips and tricks to save you a bit of money. So you really could consider getting yourself an accountant. You'll still save money if you keep detailed records of everything that comes in and out and makes their job easier, and then they don't charge you so much than if you just hand them a bundle of stuff and go, fix it. Zombie noises. You could use an online website or accountancy service like QuickBooks, not sponsored, to help you out with your bookkeeping. There's usually going to be a small fee for these, but there's usually a fair bit of backup and help. So this might be a help if you're not confident going in yourself. But the third option is to keep the books yourself. It's actually fairly simple. It's just keeping a track of everything you spend and remembering to have receipts for everything. So let's head down to my computer and have a look at one of the spreadsheets that I made for bookkeeping from my old company when I was a driving instructor. Okay, so this is the spreadsheet that I used for my bookkeeping for my driving school, but I use very similar for any of them. Now don't worry if you don't like using Excel. If you don't know how to use Excel, you can use a written copy of a timesheet, but this is just an idea of just the level of detail that's needed, and it's not as much as you think it should be. So all I've got is, if you look along the bottom here, I've got a tab for each month of the year. I'm starting in April because in the UK the tax year runs from April to April, so it's the easiest to do that. So if you're getting close to reaching that £1,000 a year income, what I would do is think of starting, no matter how long it's taken you to get. So if you've only been going for about 3 months and you're not quite at the £1,000, but you could count that 3 months as your last year and start in April and start from there. So you're going from April to April. It just makes it so much easier with a tax man to have your books and their books matching. So I've got a tab for each month, and all these tabs are exactly the same. So all we have is an area here for the income and an area for expenditure. As I say, this was for a driving school, but it's so similar for all sorts of other things. And all you do is, when you get a sale, now you can do them individual sales at a time, or you could block across, you know, your monthly income from Etsy, your monthly income from somewhere else. It doesn't matter, just so long as you keep track of everything. So then you would put in the date and the received from. This is where you got the money from. It's either from Etsy or it's going to be from individual customers. And we have where this has come from, sales or other. So again, selling on Etsy, that's going to be the most important box. It's unlikely you're going to have others, but I suppose like rent on a room or any different things that aren't sales. This section here is where it's being paid into. So if it goes, this is if you had a separate business bank account. Mainly you don't really need to worry about this too much. Just going to fill in how much money it was. So you would put in the amount of money there. And what I'll do, well, you say first of all, basically you get it as cash. So I'll say I got a sale of £20, and then did I pay it into the bank or did I retain it as cash? So as I don't have a separate business account, I would just consider it retained as cash. It's just mine. So I put in the £20. These numbers match up, and what you'll see I have done with my spreadsheet is this is adding up as we go along in this side, so I can keep a track of things. So if I made another sale, that would be £10 there, and that adds up to 30. And then your expenditure, so this is all your income. Your expenditure, again, you're sticking down the date, paid to, and then how much you've paid. Now you can put a check number or any kind, you can put any code or anything there that will help you remember things. And then if you're taking it out, if you have a business bank account, you would pop in here if you're taking it out of the bank account. But generally I would just be doing it by cash or my own money, basically, because my money and the business money is pretty much the same thing. So then you would put in the amount that you'd paid, say £20. And this is not coming out of my balancing sheet at the side yet because I've not put where it's from. So you say I've paid cash of this amount and what's it for? Now we know it's paid to, and I've got a list here along the top of various things that this could be. So obviously as a driving instructor, petrol was a big thing. So if I'd spent this £20 on petrol, I would put it in this section here, and when I hit that, these two numbers should add up, you know, should balance out. So this thicker line, each number is the same each side of the thicker line. And again, if I had something else, £10 for something, and let's say I was buying something consumable for the car, I was getting a really expensive air freshener, and you'd pop it in there, and so the numbers add up. And if we go to the side here, for some reason it's not reading this properly, I'll have to check what's happening with the sheet, but if we go to the side, it's noticed the £10. I don't think it's not reading the first line because I messed up with this spreadsheet. We'll just, so we'll put in the 20 here, which was for petrol. And automatically this box here is balancing up what's come in and what's come out through the year. So I put £30 in and we took £30 out, so my closing balance is nothing. We'll put an extra amount in here just so you can see why. So if we have £30 coming in, £35 coming in, £30 leaving, then the end of the month, the closing balance, I've made £5. And what's going to happen there, when I go on to the following month, we have what the opening balance was, what I made for April, that starts there, and as I add in more things, that's going to add up and take away. So it keeps track all through every month. It's going to have this fiver, or if I add more, it'll have more. But that's all you need to do is think of the areas that you're likely to be spending money on for your business. So you could have like supplies. For my case with needle felting, it could be wool, needles, all this kind of thing, or just simply supplies, packing material, shipping costs. These are all things that we can add in here. And then at the very end, a wee overview. This is just keeping track of everything for the month, so it's showing what you had in each month. And again, these automatically fill in. I have a little doodle that I haven't deleted at the end here, but again, if you're keeping track of your hours, there's a simplified equation on the Revenue and Customs website. So you just put in the number of hours and figure out how much you can take off in extra expenses. But that's an example of what a bookkeeping website, what a bookkeeping spreadsheet that you can build yourself is. If you have an idea of how to do Excel type sheets, then that is a fairly basic sheet. If you don't, you can just print something out and write it by hand. You can do it manually. You can buy things online. Or for my patrons, I'll actually stick up a version of this. I'll stick this up on my Patreon. So if you haven't already had a look, it's Pam Duthie at Patreon. But
I hope this helped you all.
So if you're looking to craft your career as a creative or artistic person, remember I make videos like these every Monday. So if this is something you're interested in, don't forget to click on my wee face to subscribe, check out some of the other videos up here and come back every Monday. Thank you so much.